Hey guys, I've got a very sad announcement to make, which is that this is the return of the long-lost Rambleblog. I used to make Rambleblogs when I was a bit less busy, and I tried to do one each week, and it didn't really work out because I couldn't find enough stuff to talk about, and also I was just way too busy. So, why am I doing this now? Okay, so we get a lot of questions about what we do when we're not guiding or riding bikes. And I've been watching a video blog by a guy called Mark Priestley, who's a Formula One former team mechanic for McLaren and now works for Sky Sports, and he sort of leads a quite interesting lifestyle, and he's doing something similar to these things, and I thought it'd be quite interesting to maybe start this back up, if only because it will maybe stop people continually asking us what the hell we do for the rest of the year. So it's currently March. I could have started this a few months ago. I did think about starting it before Christmas last year, but that would have taken you through a lot of very, very, very boring things like end of year accounts. So we're going to start now. It's spring and we're 2 months away from the start of the season, and lots of things happen through this period of the year. So I'll do one of these every so often, and just kind of show you what's up. And in the tradition of the Rambleblog, there'll be a lot of pausing and a lot of ers, because I try to do as little editing as possible, basically. So the Rambleblog, if you remember it, I'm sure fondly, basically is me talking to a camera about random stuff. Doesn't always revolve around bikes, but I'll try to make it a little bit more bike specific this time round. And yeah, hopefully you'll get a bit of an insight as to what we do, and you'll probably see me generally make an ass of myself quite a lot. So on that tip, let's get started. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Martin and I'm the boss of Singletrack Safari, and a lot of people ask what to expect when they come on a holiday, and the main thing to expect is coffee stops. Maybe some mountain biking, but coffee stops are important. So this morning, just as I started recording this, I've taken delivery of a big box of something, and I can't remember what I've ordered, so let's see what's in it. People quite often assume that because we're running a holiday company and we've got sponsors and one of them's a shop, that we get all our stuff for free, and that's just not the case at all. So at this time of the year, a big part of what we do is get the bits and bobs ready together that we need in order to see the season through. Normally there's probably 3 of us at least who are riding and guiding during the course of the season. This year it's going to be myself and Dave, who some of you would have met last year, and George. And George, who has worked for us for several seasons on and off, many of you will remember. He's worked in Chamonix, he's done Andorra a few times, but he's not been out for the last couple of seasons, apart from a brief period in 2016 when I shagged my knee and couldn't ride, so he came out and helped out. So all 3 of us are out riding, and we're going to be, I am going to be making sure that those guys have got some spares for keeping their bikes running during the season, in addition to my own gear as well. So you'd think, oh, I only just need a few pairs of brake pads and a few bits and bobs, and to an extent that's true, but when you think about the fact that we're away from home for basically 4 months, and we're riding 5 times a week, you can imagine just in terms of wear and tear we get through a hell of a lot of kit. So the thing that I do at about this time of the year is I hit the sales and try and pick up some of the things that we use as consumables for the best prices I can, because despite having a sponsor shop, sometimes it's better for us to actually pick up some things online in deals basically. So this box had a couple of tyres in it. We'll talk about tyres another time probably, because one of the big questions we get asked a lot is what tyres should I bring, what tyres should my bike have on it to suit the trails in Andorra or this year Slovenia as well. But as you can see, a couple of tyres have turned up, and actually I'm waiting for another 9 to turn up. So that's how many tyres we're expecting to get through between 3 of us, including the ones we got fitted on our bikes when we start the season. So across 3 bikes, that's 6 tyres already fitted, plus these 2, plus another 9. So that's 17 tyres roughly. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up going to the shops and buying some more whilst we're out there as well. So between 3 of us, we could easily get through somewhere between 18 and 20 tyres in that 4-month period. And not to mention brake pads, energy gels, recovery shot blocks, all sorts of bits and bobs like that. You've got first aid kits, you have all of the little things that you don't necessarily think about needing to have a stockpile of. Shampoo. 4 months away, it's quite a long time. So, yep, these bits will now start arriving. I dropped nearly £1,000 just on consumable bike parts last week, so there's quite a lot of stuff about to turn up. A great downside in having your office in your home, as anyone who works from home will probably tell you, is that you end up getting dragged into doing all sorts of dull household stuff at the same time. So I've just been outside hanging the washing out, which is obviously one of the highlights of my working life. And Max, who's just there in the background, was absolutely no help whatsoever. So just me having to do all this stuff. However, whilst I was out doing the hanging out of the washing, there was another delivery. So this box looks way more interesting and exciting. So I think I'm going to have to look at this box and find out what's in this one as well, because I think there's probably quite a lot of gear hiding in there. And this, by the way, behind me, just there, that's a picture from Andorra, just there. That's from the Mountain Biking UK article from last year, and that's you've basically got 3 of us over here on the left. That's Rowan Sorrell from Bike Park Wales. That's me in the orange helmet just there. And this is Ed, who wrote the article in MB UK. And this here is long lost guide Kieran, who we miss Kieran. Why did you have to go back to the wrong hemisphere? Kieran is now back in Australia and earning proper money like people that don't work in mountain bike guiding do. So here we go then, let's see what's in this one. I think probably the main delivery, although actually I think I'm expecting some more as well, having said that. So what have we got here? It's like Christmas, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? So, fancy new pedals. So I'll go through some kit stuff more specifically in another blog, but just very briefly, I'm changing to running these new Crank Brothers pedals, which as you can see are super duper skinny, and these are the small size ones. Now I've got quite big feet, and these Crank Brothers pedals come in 2 sizes. You get a small, which takes you up to a size 9, and then the large pedal, which is designed for bigger foot sizes. And I did a lot of measuring, and these come out as being a fairly regular size pedal, whereas the large one is huge. And the main reason for changing them is I've been running DMR volts, and I just smack them into everything on technical trails. So I'm going to try a smaller, lower profile pedal, see whether that makes some difference. So that's the first thing in the box. We've also got tyres, more tyres, as you can see. There's quite a lot of those in there. We've got, these are cool. These are fancy new elbow pads. Did I say elbow pads? I mean knee pads. These are fancy new knee pads from IXS, which are zipped. So you don't actually have to take your shoes off to get your knee pads on. And I already used the elbow pads from IXS and they're brilliant. And I thought that was a bloody cool idea, quite frankly. So, elsewhere in the box there are more tyres, and some more tyres, and some more tyres, and some more tyres. So lots of tyres and another minion in here as well, which is hiding amongst all these others, because some of these are non-maxes, because these are kind of stock tyres just for spares. There's a great big bottle of Energy Go-Go juice. There is a box of Energy Go-Go chews, which are the only thing I've found which don't upset my stomach of those kind of things. So yeah, those are always in my pack. There's some new grips because my Santa Cruz one's looking decidedly secondhand. There is some socks. It's just like Christmas. Look, socks. And brake pads 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 and brake. You get the idea. Lots of brake pads. That is bizarrely a 26-inch inner tube. No, that is nothing to do with guiding. That's to do with something I'm going to make another video about before too long, which is my new retro bike obsession. So I've been building up a retro bike, a restoration project, and I needed an inner tube for it. Then we've got some more socks, and some rather orange shorts, which are definitely very orange, and hopefully are going to fit. They're Troy-Lees. Now, there's actually a genuine reason for wearing bright gear when you're guiding. It's so that you guys can see where we go. Some tubeless valves, because my NV wheels are desperately trying to detubeless themselves at the moment. So some new tubeless rim tape as well. And a jersey and some more socks and some more brake pads, of course. And then what's in here? In here we have some latex fluid. Exciting, huh? And just in case you think that's some kind of kinky thing, that's as in latex fluid that goes inside your tyres, nothing else. So, there's another delivery. And so that's it from this first iteration. That was just a quick introduction, just so that you know kind of what we're up to. It won't necessarily all be me unpacking boxes. I've got a few plans to do a few specific subjects for you. Namely, I think a good one to do would be what to put in a first aid pack, because our first aid packs are very heavy duty, as you can probably imagine. So that's something we do at this time of the year as well, because we have to make sure all of our first aid gear is up to date, and because all first aid provisions have a use by date on them. So we have to go through our packs and make sure we've got the right gear in them. So that might be an interesting thing to share with you guys. Like I said, I'll talk a little bit about kit as well. Not in too geeky a way, but just to give you an idea of why we choose what we choose and how we come to those decisions. And I'll just kind of give you a bit of insight into, you know, what we do from time to time. So got a few little trips planned. We may go off on a couple of riding weekends or non-riding weekends, and I think I might take you guys along for those as well. But for now, thanks for watching the Rambleblog, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm now going to put this box of stuff and all of you guys in the garage.